Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends and get your game goodness each and every Monday. My name's John Blight. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hubley.
Hey, Joe, excited to be here to talk about video games.
Correct. Right show. Good for you.
Yes.
Also here, Ciaran Marchant.
Cookies are really good, you know.
Where'd that cookie come from?
From the Subway bag that
I thought.
just had.
Okay. No,
I've been staring at the entire time we were recording between the cushions.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I do miss. I used to love a Subway cookie, but then
Subway
once
cookies go
lactose
hard.
intolerant.
Then they put too much dairy in it.
Yeah. I used to always love the. I used to get Anzacs and the M&M ones a lot.
Anzacs?
They used to do Anzacs, yeah.
They what? When?
Years ago, they did Anzacs, and that was nice. I like a soft Anzac.
Mm.
I can't remember them ever doing Anzacs.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. Maybe it's a Tassie thing.
Maybe it was a Tassie only
Maybe
thing?
Tasmanians are very
Patriotic with their
patriotic, and we put Anzacs in our subways. I mean, they're
Is Anzac biscuits patriotic? I don't know. I thought there was like some big uproar that, you know, obviously Prince Charles was here. Oh, sorry, King Charles was here a few weeks
Who
ago.
gives a fuck what he's
Apparently, like Anzac cookies were on the menu,
okay?
and some people were getting up in arms about it for some reason.
Why? Because it's for fucking
Anzac cookies are
Anzacs,
just
like
Anzac
the
cookies
army.
are just Anzac cookies. Also, Anzac cookies that they ate in the war are nothing like the Anzac cookies.
No.
No,
Anzac cookies
these have
actually
sugar.
taste good. Yeah, so they're just called that. I don't know. We will talk. I will say we'll jump into Dragon Age Veilguard in a second. I just want to give Ciaran his 2 cents for a second. I have not started Arcane season 2 yet. I've got 3 episodes to watch. That may be because I thought I had more time to watch it before recording today, but that's fine. So have you watched all 3, Ciaran? Because now you're like,
No, I haven't. I'm like 1.5. I stopped halfway
you
through
watched
this
1.5 episode and you're like, that's it. I need to play League of Legends.
No, that's the thing. Right? I started watching it, but I was also like, I haven't been. It's funny, right? I haven't been. For the last like 2 weeks, I've been house sitting for my parents, so I'm like, I've been playing. I've only had my PlayStation. I've been playing single player games. I'm getting the multiplayer itch currently of like needing to play some competitive multiplayer games. That, which would have just directed into Deadlock or in a couple of weeks, Marvel Rivals. Now Arcane comes out, and I'm like, League of Legends could be kind of between that and the League of Legends Worlds was pretty fucking hype and had the same effect on me. Same effect of me as like Dota's International, where I was like, I could play some League. League could be kind of fun, you know? Like I could play some MOBA. I could put some hours into a MOBA right now. Terrible idea. Probably won't do it. But at the same time, you know what my biggest problem is, right? I just don't have... I would play more... I'd love to still be playing a MOBA. I just don't have friends that play MOBAs. I just don't have anybody to play League with or don't have anybody to play Dota with. And that's sad. But it's probably for the best because MOBAs are just a cesspit of all my intention. It'd probably be worse than my Overwatch 2 sabbatical if I was into a MOBA again.
You're incorrect. There was a period where I was playing a lot of Pokemon.
That's fucking. I did never counted Pokemon Unite. You can fuck right off on that nonsense. The only hope Pokemon Unite ever had is if it ever came to PC, which it wasn't going to. So
now they just added Psyduck, so I feel like you're really missing out on your moments right now.
No.
What
But Arcane, good.
What you also don't know is I always have League of Legends installed.
Yeah, I know, and I would play League of Legends at any time, just to chill out, just play League.
No one chills out and plays League. It's not real.
No, you just sit there ripping off your white shirt. Oh my god, I'm wearing a white shirt. This is perfect.
Let's go.
Do it.
No, he doesn't want to be Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
No.
I'm checking now. I'm wondering if my client's up to that. Bet you it is. I'm pretty sure I'm fucking a good kid who always has this up to date. All right. So yes, we'll Arcane, exciting. All right, let's dive into the main game of this week. Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Came out last week, of course, but we took time to talk about it. I've played a little bit. You still played a lot more than me, I know that. So, Ciaran, lead us on to how much you played. How's the game going for you?
I've played 20 hours of Veilguard. Game's pretty good. Game's pretty great. I don't think I'm even out of Act 1 yet. I've been fucking around doing other things. I think in the last, 10 hours?
Is it act?
Yeah, there's 3 acts, I believe. last 10, or maybe, not 10, maybe the last 5 to 6 hours, the game has like really, really clicked for me. I was always enjoying it, but there was something felt off. I actually found that my first like maybe 8 hours, I was playing on the slightly easier difficulty, and I wasn't having too much fun in the combat, and everybody was saying good things about the combat. And then I've upped the difficulty since and had a lot more fun with that then. More because it's like it's tactical. I needed to use my companions a lot more and my abilities better, which is more interesting. I think it's a great game. I don't think it beats Metaphor as Game of the Year for me. I love the character creation system, as everybody has kind of tweeted out about now. But like on top of that, I love the backstory system. I love how integrated into the world the main character Rook feels in terms of what's important to them, what their history is, how they refer to things and talk about things. Like it's very nice. I think it's very normal in RPGs where you feel like your character has just kind of been dropped into this world, or kind of there's no history for them, there's no connections. So I really love that aspect of it. I'm playing a rogue. I think the rogue play style is very fun. I maybe at the minute I'm not like entirely meshing as well with the companion characters as I have been in previous Dragon Age games, or even when I compare it to Metaphor. I love all the companion characters. At the moment, I'm kind of, there's no one person that I'm absolutely in love with. It's really funny. I've like just got to a section where I've worked out which 2 characters are like in my party and like kind of like my go-tos. And one of them, I absolutely, with a choice, fucking ruined any chance of me easily progressing them, and like to the point where I've pissed them off so badly that they won't cast support abilities on me automatically anymore. Like they'll only do it if I ask them to. So yeah, that fucked me a little bit. I realized that last night when I was playing. I was like, fuck, why did I do that? Even though the in-character choice was the right choice for me. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I have a lot of fun with Dragon Age. It's nice to have a Western RPG. I think it's definitely like top 2 or top 3 of the year for me, but I just think it's not going to unseat Metaphor even if I keep playing it.
Ash?
Yeah, so I'm about 20 hours in according to my PSN. Yeah, I'm having a great time as well. Like my first Dragon Age game.
How's that going? Because, like, obviously,
I mean, lore-wise, it's like I kind of knew what I was stepping into before I came in, and like I read like a very short article before I started about the backstory and that kind of stuff, because it definitely does not. I don't think it's. I think it's a good one to jump into, but there is clear history there, which is also interesting. Like to jump in a world that does have history, like because it's got all these previous games, and like Ciaran said, like your character is designed. You have where you have a backstory. I think the character creation is really fantastic. With like, all right, you pick whatever faction you're going to be part of, and then they have an explanation of what your backstory of your character is and how they came to be recruited to the Veilguard, I guess.
What did you all pick?
Shadow Dragons.
Me too.
Yeah. What did you pick?
I don't remember the name, but they're in the dock place and they're like assassin people.
Shadow Dragons.
Oh, okay, right.
No, wait. The dock.
It'll be the it'll be Docktown. It's not the one that's like
Docktown.
Venice. It's not the one that's like Venice. It's Docktown. Yeah,
No,
you're also a
Docktown.
Shadow Dragon.
Okay,
No,
there
we're all
you go.
boring.
We're
we all
all-
pick the same thing.
I'm a little disappointed. Wait, what class wise did you both?
I'm
play?
a human mage.
Human mage.
Elf assassin.
Meet
Or
elf rogue. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I fell in love with this idea of playing an elf because I'm like, how fucking cool, like narratively, is like an elf bringing down, like kind of the whole.
elf
I guess
gods.
this,
Yeah.
not just the elf gods, but like Solus' plan is to like improve elf kind and whatever. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying like the world. I think it helps now that I've got all the companions. Like it's kind of interesting to mix and match, and you've got all the different skills and like trying to find the right combos and that kind of stuff and pairings to get the best utilization. What I think I just checked. I've cleared. Hang on, chapter 7. I think is part 7 is the last thing I finished, according to my trophies. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of dicking around as well, and like side quests and that kind of stuff, and clearing the map, looking around maps, finding treasure chests.
They said it was not going to be like open world. It wasn't going to be.
Yes.
But like the areas are still very big. They're still very explorable. There's lots to find. There's lots to go back to.
I mean, initially I was like, oh, wow, this is really linear. And then, the world does kind of very open up with a lot of bigger areas. I guess, like, obviously I played Max Effect, the first one, like last year when the remaster came out. And it is very comparable to that kind of system, I guess, of you go to the spaceship and then you go to these planets and then, there's the open world section. So, yeah, I'm enjoying the lore and the world and, like, the overall battles, and the combat feels really good, even as a mage, a little bit more, I can be a bit more ranged, but then you have the option to switch up to your alternate weapon to be a little bit more close combat if you want. I think the skill tree is really interesting, and like one, how big it is and how many effects there are, and like you could probably spend hours like trying to optimize that as much as you want, but then to be able to reset it, I guess, anytime you want, because you're like, this isn't quite the right makeup for maybe the equipment that I've got, the super rare, super powerful equipment that I've just unlocked. It is not super effective, so I'll just re-optimize everything, my entire skill set and the way I've been playing to like, optimize that. But yeah, I'm finding all the companions really interesting. I think they've got a really wide variety. I think it's interesting that, I don't know, maybe because I haven't been trying to romance anybody in any way, I'm not getting these super gay vibes. But that's fine, because that's my experience, and I'm sure other people are having a different experience in romancing other people.
Dash. What you fail to have realized is at the start of the game when you made your character, it asked you to pick their pronouns. How fucking dare it? It asked me to pick if I was a he, they, she. How dare it? And I decided to throw the disc out at that point. I was like, that's it. I'm done. Ruin the video games they have. What was that dude screaming about a year ago? That British dude, remember him? That
so boring.
So boring. There we go.
British people.
British people.
So fun.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Keen to keep playing.
I'm enjoying it. I'll say this. I think I'm enjoying the world. I think it's a pretty world. I like lots of interesting characters that you pop into and places, and they look nice and whatever else. The story itself is like the least interesting thing to me. I think out of all the Dragon Age games I've played, I think the story I'm just like whatever. I don't really like. It just seems.
The weirdest thing is this is where I've struggled until now. It doesn't. I don't think it starts very well, because you very quickly learn the reason why they changed it from the Veilguard, from Dreadwolf to the Veilguard, because it circumvents a lot of the thoughts that we probably had about the game going into it, but it doesn't do that great a job of setting anything up or like kind of leading you into the world. You're just kind of like, you're here, and now you're over here, and now you're over there, and now you're over here, and now you're over there. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I don't think it builds very well. I think the opening 10 hours are not very well paced for my liking, or even to the point where like it very early on gives you quests that are for like level 20. And like it doesn't have any indicator of that. It doesn't explain that to you.
Yeah, I went to kill some guardian thing or whatever.
Yes.
Gate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm fighting.
I'm getting
my ass handed to me, and then slowly I suddenly I look and I'm like, this fucking thing has level 25 written above it. What the?
Yeah. Like there's nothing in the game, and that's one of my criticisms is like the journal system or like the quest tabs don't have any explanation of like power level of like what you should be expecting or anything like that. And I think that would just be a very nice change to lead people. yeah, it's. I think there's a lot going on in the game, and it could have even in some of its systems could have just been streamlined a little bit more, or kind of been made a bit more user friendly overall.
Yeah. It's like, I'll say it's me because it sounds like I'm not enjoying it, but like I could probably enjoy it as much if I just put a podcast on at the same time and just zoned out.
It is that's the thing.
I'm
right?
not
It
super
is
invested in anything
a
really.
solid 8 for me. Like it's a super solid 8. It's not kind of I really enjoy it and like I'm in with it, but at the same time, it's really hard to really kind of lose myself in it, like the way I want to lose myself in Metaphor. Like it's real. Like that's probably the hardest thing for me is like I have Metaphor to compare it to right now. And one game where I'm really falling for the characters and really loving everybody, and then in Dragon Age, I'm finding characters it's very hard to like fully get into them. And I think actually one system that doesn't help, right, is so once you're out in the world, different characters have different abilities. So like you can one of them like lifts rocks up and down, the other one like sees fucking clues or whatever. Very quickly on, without you having to unlock this ability, with anything like that, you get the ability to use their skills while they're not in your party. So somebody...
You hold up a magic dagger and they just...
Yeah, you hold up a magic dagger and their ability happens. And I think that, even though it's convenient, I think that is also a hindrance for you becoming connected with all the party. Because there's no mechanical reason. Once you've kind of found a team you like, there's no reason to like bring everybody in, other than like building up their bonds and stuff. There's no reason to go back out with another person so that you can go and explore a different part of the map because only they have access to it with their ability.
Like literally the only thing I do, like if I go into whenever I've got, so I think I'm doing less side quest stuff, to be honest. So I think the last thing I completed was like chapter 5 or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Have you filled out the entire Veilguard?
No.
No, you haven't got all the companions yet.
Have you got the bit where you have to make a choice between two?
No.
Okay.
I've been doing a bunch of stuff in Docktown.
Docktown, yep.
With that lady, whatever her name is, who wears
with Nev.
Yeah, I'm trying to romance the hell out of her. Is where I'm at currently. That's my current commitment.
That's what you want to hear. I'm romancing the hell out of this lady. I can't remember what her name is.
Yeah, well, I like her style. She got magic. She's pretty cool.
You know what? It took me 15 hours in. She's missing a leg, and I was like,
yes.
And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Oh, fuck. Okay, cool.
She has a cool, like
cobra fucking prosthetic. Yeah,
but you just didn't notice.
You just didn't notice. It was just part of her character design, and they don't make a thing out of it. They don't really. So far, they haven't really spoken about it.
And I feel like I bonded because she's the one who got the hell beat out of her at the start of the game. She was all
same.
Harding got beat up in mine.
You see, there is this craze for Lace Harding that I do not understand. I'm not a fan. I'm just like, you're kind of cool,
fine.
but she's all
she
right.
wears Crocs,
but...
so that's a turn off for me personally. No, like I would say like the thing with this game to me has been like, so when I went and did the thing with old mate who's got the demon inside him, and I'm like, this is interesting, and then like every time I like have anything to do with him, and his demon's like yelling at him, and you can see it, but they can't see it, and all that. I'm like, this is really intriguing. I know more about this. But then the game's like, man, you should go do this other thing and like look into those fucking elf god things, but the elf gods again. I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about the elf gods currently. Like, this seems more interesting than me. And that's what I'm.
But that's what you. That's the thing is where you like kind of pepper everybody's companion missions into it, and you slowly build up. And some characters,
I've done what I can for him, and I've like given him a present and everything. There's not like I don't have.
Can I say presents are the stupidest shit in the world?
Yeah, but
I was it gives you a quest. It gives you a quest, and you go in there, and literally one of them was like,
"Oh, thanks."
It was literally like, "Oh, thanks," and that was the cutscene, and it was over. And I was like, "What the fuck? What? Okay,
couldn't you just open it, like them opening it or using it, and like explaining like, what it is?"
Or just having a conversation of some kind. But no, it was like, "Oh, thanks." Like it was like the same as like that kid opening an avocado for Christmas, but it's like some text or something that they wanted. I don't. Yeah, but it's nice. Like I think it rests on. I think this game would be harder to play if the combat wasn't so good. I don't think like you could chill out and just kind of. I think that's why I'm like okay, just doing the side quest stuff. Like I've just got to the point where I can. I've just started defeating those guardians because I'm like high enough level and my build actually works now that I can start killing those kind of level 20, 25. And I think I just beat like a level 32 boss or something. Like I can start doing that. Yeah, I think the game opened up more and you kind of get more and more of it as you go through.
Yeah, as you go along, you start to notice things like it's like, oh, this enemy is vulnerable to this. It's like instead of just spamming whatever the most powerful thing that you've got is, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, I think some of the choices so far has been really interesting. Like the choice that Ciaran is going on about, you know, I think it's interesting to see like
that's a big ramification,
real tangible, real world effects.
The thing that worries me, that makes me a little sad is I've read that that's the only choice like that in the game.
Oh, okay, well
that none of the other choices are as big
that is, you know,
or as kind of huge as that singular choice is, which is kind of a little underwhelming when it's like probably the early first big choice you make.
Yeah.
I don't know the combat. I think the combat's fine. I'm honestly sort of the
for Rogue
for
real
me,
boring until later. I promise you, it gets much better once you're leveled.
Currently, I feel like I'm doing that. Like I just feel like I'm just on repeat, and I do the same to the degree, and especially because some of the bad guys are all the same fucking thing. It's like one of three different bad guys in every level, no matter where you go, basically. And then I'm just at the point now where honestly, I'm sort of tempted to knock the difficulty down so I can just kill them faster because I'm sort of bored.
It makes it worse.
I know. Bump back up. But I'll tell you what. So
it probably they just reduce the HP.
But you know what the other weird thing is? When the
the
game starts, it puts you on the second difficulty, right?
So second difficulty is bad. Up is good.
Yeah, I went to the one up. But I found it interesting that when you go to start the game, it doesn't start you on the middle one. It starts you on the second one. And I'm wondering how many people if that's where you started. But I went that and looked at the screen and went, well, that can't be right. And I moved it up automatically.
Can I advice for you? Leave it on what you're doing now, but like make parrying easier. And as a rogue, you'll have much more fun. Because in the settings, you can like individually change a lot of the difficulties for different things.
Just make quite hard in this game. I find.
Yeah, parrying frustrates the fuck out of me. Not because of having to parry, because the window of hey, this is when you have to, where it kind of gives you the warning that a parry is coming to the point where you need to parry is fucking massive. Like an enemy will start swinging and they'll be like, "Hey, I'm about to attack you." And you'll like 2 seconds and you'll like parry and it'll be like too early and then it'll hit you and you'll be like, what the fuck? And I just think maybe
I've just like stopped even trying. I just dodge everything now.
Nah, I parry everything. Because Rogue, you get an ability where by parrying you activate necrotic blades and it's really good. It's really fun.
Can I get one where it says if I dodge in time, it'll like activate?
I don't think so.
I don't think there's a perfect dodge.
Damn.
No.
You know.
Trash game.
Do you have a favorite companion, Ciaran?
I will say it is. I can't remember. Like it is the Crow guy. Like he is the favorite companion.
He's the most interesting so far.
He is the most interesting. I am kind of digging. Like I like Nev and I like Bellanora. Like I like both of those. Yeah. Ballara, that's it. Ballara. I like both of their characters. I find it very.
She's definitely high the whole game, but that's fine.
Like it's I think it's I'm a little, you know what, disappointed by the necromancer guy. I thought unless he escalates to be much better and much more eccentric as I get to know him, a little bit disappointed by him so far, but other than that, yeah, it's been alright.
You know Manfred fan?
I like Manfred. Manfred's cool. Manfred's very cool.
Have you because I haven't yet, but have you met the Inquisitor? Like
no, that's later on apparently.
Okay, because I just found it like so interesting that you have to like that's part of the choice.
I met Dorian, who I'd set Dorian as my Inquisitor's love interest for the early game.
So I went in and fully customized it as as much as I can remember for a game that came out like 10 years ago. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what I did. And like but yeah.
I was just random stuff.
Yeah. Well, you don't have any.
I guess you like this person.
Yeah.
Guess you chose this.
This is one of those times where I'm like, I'm sort of disappointed that there's no like save data import thing, because I'm like, it's not just a random character. It is like that's your character from
from history.
You know, so.
I do think it's set up in a way that's like, hey, unless you go in there and change it, its default status is the Inquisitor was a female elf, so that they could be in a relationship with Solace, so that there is a love connection there for later in the game. I think is like the default setting. Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is you can definitely tell, and some of people have noticed as well, you can definitely tell this game started as like a multiplayer co-op thing at first. Like, I feel like the level design and just the way it's... You can tell that this potentially... Like, because apparently that's how the game started development, is that they started it as like a 3-player, you know, like co-op.
Or like an Anthem was. Or,
like a PvE sort of game. And then they were like, no, that's not working out for us. Let's maybe just go back to what our games are, and they're single player.
Maybe.
From there. So, because it's not open world like Inquisitor was. You know, like it is interesting how the sort of spaced out in these little biomes basically, instead of like these really larger open areas. I mean, in Dragon Age Inquisition, you had like these few main
fucking hinterlands where I was actually talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago that like somebody
someone wrote an article. I remember when that game came out. I was like, for fuck's sake, please leave the hinterlands and go play more of the game. Like,
yeah, and I think that was a big problem with it, was that a lot of people got stuck in the hinterlands because that area was so big and there was so much to do, and the game didn't do a very good job of like stopping you from going, or like kind of directing you to go away from there.
Would be like Bull would be like, oh, we can leave soon, and it'd be like, no, like there's like 20 other quests to do over here, so just keep fucking going.
I think this game's doing a good job of making you progress through the story, of like not getting bogged down in like side quests and that kind of stuff, you know.
No, which is good.
Which is like I feel like I've been playing this like 2-3 hour chunks, and like I'll just clear out all the missions currently as world or whatever, or okay, now I'll tackle like a main quest storyline and that sort of thing. So the quest log is not massive, you know, and there aren't clear like massive like side quests, you know.
Well, no, last time I opened it, looked at my side quest, it was just 4 side quests that said, this will open up further in the game. Or whatever.
These
like,
Guardians.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. That said, there are ones you find in the like I traveled back to one of the early places, and you know, just went to the one of the
you'll constantly do that, and like the more you get
I was like this
more...
ghost lady needs help. I'm like, okay. Don't know what I did. I got experience out of it, I guess. But...
Just helped her.
I didn't care for her personally, but yeah, and then the other thing I found interesting, the announcement that they're like, yeah, there's no DLC coming. We're not even working on it. Like, it's just refreshing, cool. I feel, in the year 2024 in our video game gods, to just be like, it's a game, it's out, it's done.
I don't know, people are split, I feel like. Some people are like, what? There's not more?
The thing is, I'm okay with
exactly what you worked on.
But I think it's okay because it's like, oh, sweet. That means they're just going to direct their efforts to Mass Effect. Sweet.
Well, yeah.
I did laugh so far. So far, the outfit that I like the most is the free one they gave away for the
pre-orders.
The N7 day. There's a Commander Shepard armor and looks sick. And I'm like, yeah, that's the best armor so far. I have not found anything else I like, so this will be it for the game.
Is that the white with like a dragon on it?
No, that's Dragon Age Origins. That's like Dragon Age Origins. I've been
wearing the entire time.
When you keep going at some point, it should, like, a chest will appear next to
that was so weird. I was playing like 16 hours in or something, and then a chest appears.
A chest appeared.
Here's all the pre-order bonuses.
Oh, okay. So my pre-order bonus was already there. It was just there's a chest appears next to the caretaker at some point, and it's like, oh, this reminds me of an old friend, and then you put it on, and it's clearly, it's clearly Mass Effect.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I'm like should be. So I've upgraded the old mate in the lighthouse a couple times, and like I'm like upgrading my weapons because I think this is a game where you're supposed to upgrade your weapons.
So
like,
if you collect the weapon again, it automatically upgrades you to the next rarity.
Yeah, but I don't feel like how some games you're like, man, I'm not.
Yeah, you're
shit 'cause
continually.
It's gonna be a waste.
As soon as you find stuff that's good for whatever build you're going for, you just kind of keep upgrading it and keep going until you find something better.
I know. I keep buying everything. Like maybe
Also,
this will
just buy a
come
lot
in
of
useful
stuff.
later. You know.
I go to every merchant. I check if they've got mementos, because if they've got mementos, I'll grab those so I can upgrade caretaker. And then any appearances, and then any character specific, like companion specific armors, I'll grab.
And presents.
And presents, which are pointless.
Pretty rare.
Fucking presents, yeah.
I went and talked to some merchant, and they're like they had nothing I wanted, but like as I'm in the menu, they go, "If you like what I got maps too." And I was like, "You're a fucking lie. You don't have any maps here at all."
I will say there is a lot of random merchants in this game that have like
Random
food
stuff.
and like random stuff, and I'm like, what is the point? What am I?
Let me ask a question: is there a point in buying valuables from a merchant and then to sell it back?
I think
Is it-
so,
someone else?
because
Do you lose money, or is
no, because when you sell it, you then sell it to gain
Yeah.
reputation
but
with the
are you
faction.
losing? Are you losing a certain amount of money, or is
The thing is, I don't know. At the moment,
Yeah.
I've had that much money where it doesn't actually matter to buy those things, and it's just like I'm just
still
doing it for
rich
the
over
grab.
here?
If you want to like quickly upgrade that's how I took it anyway. It's like if you want to upgrade like maybe you can buy stuff cheaper with a good reputation in one place, and then you can sell it to someone.
Nah,
else.
because you can't buy you buy the valuables from random vendors, and then you take it back to like the guild or whatever group is
Sell it.
overlooking and sell it to them to gain reputation.
Yeah.
And then because like there's some like whichever so there is this choice you make pretty much also makes it nigh on impossible to gain reputation with one of the factions. And so you then have to work real
think
hard if you
probably
wanna-
will be able to gain reputation again. The
it's
merchant
really-
disappears. But
It's real hard.
yeah.
Because you have to just do it through quests and stuff.
I haven't got to this choice yet, but like when I started the game, I did a quick like trophy search to see like how hard it is. And they're like, and straight away I just see the guide. They're like, here, chapter 2, you got to make this choice. Choose this place because if you do the other choice, it makes it nearly impossible to do this. And also, I'm like, no, I'm not playing them in this game. Fuck off. Like, and they're like, make sure to do all these quests before this stage, and then if you got to make sure to say these options so all the characters don't. Blah blah blah. I'm like, nah, I'm fucking out. Let me just play it how I want. Like,
Yeah,
stop
absolutely.
forcing me to play certain ways to get the fucking That's the only thing that really annoys me on the side note about like achievements trophies in games like this. I'm like, I feel like the achievements trophies should just be done in a way that doesn't like force people that want to
Multiple
get all
playthroughs. If
if
your game is 60, 80 hours long,
don't put like missable
Don't
shit
put
and
multiple-
like ways you can fuck up like certain things. Like just make trophies for like completing everything in the game. Sure, whatever. Like complete all side quests, whatever. I don't, like that's fine. But anything that's like
don't make it choice based. Yeah.
I was like, because then it's just dumb. Especially in a game like this where it's like it's choice is part of its identity, you know. So fucking dumb. Anything else, Dragon Age?
It's all right.
It's good.
It's definitely quality of life.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think you'd be enjoying it more if metaphor was a thing right now?
Yes. Probably.
I definitely am at the stage. I'm like, if I stop playing this to go back to Metaphor, I'm not coming back to this fucking game.
Yes, and the same thing with there's been a couple nights the last couple of days where I've been like, I should play like another chapter of Life is Strange. I am like full on kicking myself for not just buying Life is Strange on PC and playing it once I get my Steam Deck. So I can so I'll probably, you know what? Probably going to end up rebuying Life is Strange and playing it on Steam Deck.
That's what they wanted.
Probably.
But then you're going to have to, is there cross save?
No.
I just played through the first 2 episodes again. It's fine.
The first 2 good episodes.
So I finished Life is Strange.
Okay.
Is my other thing.
My other question I was going to ask is, what do you think the Baldur's 3 effect on Dragon Age's coverage has been?
Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah.
I think
everybody's like, oh, this isn't like Baldur's Gate 3, which is
sadly that's always going to happen for any fantasy RPG for the rest of probably gaming history. Or until something else comes out that eclipses Baldur's Gate 3. like that's just going to be it. Baldur's Gate is going to be the very unhealthy standard that very few, if any, games are ever going to live up to ever again.
Yeah, but I think they're also very different. Baldur's Gate is more of an actual like RPG, and this is honestly just like it's a third-person action game. Like,
but everybody will like forever compare like the companions and that kind of storytelling to Baldur's Gate. I think that'll be its biggest thing.
only because it's the most recent, like really well done game. Then there'll be another game in several years' time that probably like does a really good companion game, and then people will say that's now the highlight.
Yeah,
you know, it's always like it's you know, like where people just remember the most recent example of a thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just think Baldur's Gate is that massive and that kind of much of, in my opinion, a masterpiece that it's hard not to compare it to everything else that comes after it that's going to try and be anything like it. I will say just very minor complaint I have. Fuck me, there is no point in this game to all of anytime you could fall off the map, fucking pointless. Just fucking invisible wall that shit and let me keep playing the game. Just like anytime there is water, it's not clear on what water's fucking too deep.
I fucking hate how you can't swim.
Water's too deep or what water's not too deep.
You've got armor. You're going to get dragged straight to the bottom of this.
Stupid. Or it's like the crow's base where the spawn point is right next to this fucking random ass fucking bridge that's like a rooftop or something. Times I've almost fucking just. Also, on top of that, actually, this is turned into more of a rant. On top of that, please, games, stop making your action button the same button as the fucking jump button.
No, man. I love jumping all over the game. All I'm doing is jumping. I'm just jumping. Everywhere I go, I'm jumping.
It's like the only times I've like run that tiny bit too far past something or like
past collectible whatever,
and then it just jumps. I'm like, fucking motherfucker. The amount of they just stop. And like there's no
cardio in.
I get it if there was death or like there was some punishment to falling off the fucking map, but there's nothing. You just get fucking. So just don't put it in there. Fuck it. Just put fucking invisible walls or don't let my character do it or whatever. But fuck, it's so frustrating.
I got stuck. I was nearly ready to rage. I like activated one of demon dude's like invisible platform things, and I jumped onto the platform and I like slipped off, and then it kept drowning, and like my car would float back up.
Oh, you have to fast travel to get out of the animation.
And drown and float back. Yeah, and I had to fast travel, but I
have to fast travel
just watching him do it like a million times and hitting this fucking platform. I'm like, fucking respawn me.
You've also reminded me some of those demon fucking platforms on a timer. Other ones, not. Yeah. What is the point of them being on a timer?
You can hear tick, tick.
You can hear tick, right? But what's the fucking point? It's not like death is a problem with me falling off. It's just going to make me fucking go back and redo it.
It's Crash Bandicoot.
Because it doesn't want that thing there forever.
No, but just eventually turn it off. But don't have like a tick, 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 tick timer. Like just fucking, I don't know, just fucking have like a 30-second timer.
Just want to create some tension, like make it go fast.
Just don't make pointless fucking, Ugh.
Baldur's Gate didn't have that, did it? No platforming, that's for sure.
Yeah, it did.
No. Did it?
Yeah.
You jump all over the place.
You have to jump all over the place and fucking calculate shit.
Yeah, and then like you roll, and then you can't jump good, so you die.
Yeah.
Can't jump good.
Jump.
Or you couldn't jump back up. Remember? You couldn't jump back up.
Yeah, that wasn't platform. That was just button
gameplay.
Yeah, gameplay. What are we talking about?
I will say I really appreciate Rook being fully voiced and like
love it.
Great conversations. I'm enjoying my Rook as a character. I'll say that.
I will say
the dialogue choices and everything. Yeah.
BioWare still continues to be the worst fucking developer at describing what a voice option actually is, because the amount of times you choose an option and what they say is nothing like the fucking prompt that it said in the little thing all the time. Also, part of me just wishes the smartass option just automatically choose that for me every time. Just default that to me. Maybe I'll let me jump in there and be like, oh no, I'll do something different every now and then. But most of the time, smartass option. I'm a rogue. I'm a talkative asshole. That's what I do.
Do you want to touch on the outrage stuff or?
It's fucking people who go fucking.
Just had a quick look now. So
return to form. They're paying them to return to form.
83 on Metacritic with a 3.8 user score.
Dumb.
Here's this review. My review has been deleted 3 times. No problem. I'll return again and again and again. Awful video game. Woke. Cringe dialogue and terrible characters. Avoid. Unbelievable. They made one of my favorite series unplayable with woke nonsense. Some of the dialogue is so ridiculous I can't believe they put it in a video game.
I don't know. I haven't found any like terrible dialogue.
This game is a shame. Way to push woke propaganda down our throats.
There's
This
been
is
some
not
cheesy
Dragon
shit
Age.
that I'm like, that's cheesy as fuck. But
But not terrible. And like, I haven't watched Skill Up's review, but where he's like pretty negative on it. And
But
his
he's
opinion
negative on
I
it from a gameplay and a story perspective. That's
Yeah,
different to the
I don't know why
No,
have Skill Up is just the opposite to me in almost every take he has, so I've just stopped watching Skill Up videos. So I'm like, you're just not for me.
Yeah,
and that's okay. But
and that's okay. I do find it so like Titans was talking about like the bleed through. I think of like how there was the same before on Between the Cushions. If you listen to that, like the bleed through, the social effect and stuff like that. I had 2 people at work who were like, "Oh, I'm sort of interested in the game, but I heard it's like super woke and stuff." I'm like,
I don't understand why this voicing of super
it's because
woke.
there's so many influencers and YouTubers. Even if you don't seek it out, it pops up on people's feeds, and they will see it, and they see these clips, and it says, "Hey, game is woke." And there was that fucking clip I saw of the dude going off about it because he got asked to pick if a character was non-binary, and it clearly says you can click back and just not click the fucking option, but it's a whole thing. Anyway.
Yeah, I think if anybody says woke in a review, you should just generally not listen to them.
I mean, in general, if someone says the word, I do struggle, and this is something I have to like. In general, I think if anyone's using the word woke in a non, like in a serious sense, I'm like, pretty much any opinion that comes after that, I'm already like just tuned out to. Yeah,
That's fair.
That's sort of where I'm at with that. Because
woke people don't say woke. You know what I mean?
No.
They're already awake, so they don't need to.
Like no, like if it's for this game, like if there was 2 sides, there'd be like people reviewing the game saying, "Man, this game's super woke. We love that." But no one says that. That's not a real sentence.
No, they say it's
someone
super
says.
progressive, or like LGBTQ
But no one said that ever
forward,
because it's also not super progressive. It's just got some
It's
fucking
just-
gender
yeah,
options.
it's like,
like it's
you
not-
can fuck everybody.
Yeah,
you know.
it's in a world of in 2024. I don't think that anything this game's doing is super progressive, and it's not something anyone's writing about. It's just normality, and it's just these fucking people screaming into a void about how they saw something they don't understand. And
Yeah.
How good.
Okay, Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Right, hold on. My fucking headphones are about to go flat. Apparently. Where's the? I like how they just make this. They make a noise and they scare you.
Are those the new Xbox wireless
No.
headphones?
No, they're the old ones.
They're the old ones.
It's the ones he's had for ages.
Sorry, sir.
Why aren't you using the new ones that you got given?
I didn't get
for review.
new ones. I didn't get new ones. What are you talking
Didn't
about?
you? I thought you did.
No.
Damn.
Do you know something like
Fuck you, Xbox.
Fucking hell.
Actually, I do need to say things are fucking, and it doesn't need to be said anymore because it happens every time. What you did to that PS5 Pro box, fucking horrendous.
What?
I don't know if I've
Did
seen this
you-
video.
Was there a video? I can't remember.
No,
There was something
actually-
you opened. There was something you opened that you like fucking.
Oh, it was
dished-
the Doom one I shared, maybe.
Maybe I don't know.
Ooh,
There was a
should've-
box I recently saw you fucking open.
Yeah, I think I
That
opened
was
it.
fucking horrendous, and I could not believe.
I uploaded an unboxing of the Doom Collector's Edition thing, anthology.
I think
might
that
be
was
it.
it. Actually, I think
Yeah.
that was it. That was fucking horrendous.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
It's
Didn't need a
Doom.
box. Doom. Life is Strange finished it. I don't hate it as much as some people, but yeah, definitely dives off a cliff in those last 2 chapters a bit. So I'm not gonna like beat a dead horse here. I still enjoyed it. I still liked it. The stuff I liked is still there in those last couple of chapters, but also there's less of it. And it just seems to like it just jumps the shark a couple times, and sort of the stuff where like I sort of like would prefer to be spending more time doing this thing. You just don't do that. I would say we get another one of these because I think this is sold well, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes because I feel like this is the least.
Do you think you get another Max Caulfield Life is Strange?
Yeah. I think we get another Max Caulfield Life.
I think it just sticks with Max for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, well, I mean, without spoiling,
I think it would be
like,
smart.
The game it ends and they're like Max, like, okay, the game's been out.
Max will be back.
It literally pops up and says Max Caulfield will return.
Like the thing is, I think it's the smarter thing now to continue, like, I don't want to say mainline Life is Strange games, but continue your main ones as Max games, and then have some fucking, like they did with Before the Storm and other ones where it's like little side games where you explore different characters, but keep Max as your main.
Are we going to get the Life is Strange Avengers, and then all the protagonists from the previous games are going to team up, and then you have to fight?
Not a chance.
Fight the storm, whoever created the storm.
I hope not, but also
because they're going to turn up and there's going to be one.
Most definitely a chance.
because there'll be one will be like the little like Latinx boy who can like fucking telekinesis shit. There's Max jumping between realities and fucking turning back time, and then there's Alex, and she's like, "Hey, I can see people's emotions."
Yeah, that sounds like a great team.
It's no.
Find a way to make it all work together.
No.
Again, without spoiling it, that is definitely the direction they want to head in. No.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got the impression from some of the reviews.
They by the end of this game, they're more interested in the powers than the characters, and I think that's the.
Well, I guess without getting too spoilery, do you feel like it fulfilled its murder mystery?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Which I feel like is going to be a frustration point for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I think as that thing, I was thinking, I'm like, I think we all said the same thing the other week where it was like, what's your favorite Life is Strange game? Oh, it's Before the Storm. Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite. And there's no fucking powers in it. Like, like if you're like that's your favorite, it's like people aren't playing these games for the powers. They're playing it for the characters. The powers are the secondary thing. I really like Life is Strange too. And I think that's a really interesting, poignant story that's still relevant. But like the powers is still isn't a part of that.
Priority,
all,
yeah.
Like priority, like it's a thing there, but it's not. Yeah. So we shall see. It seems like they've sort of, I would say, lost it a little bit with where they're direction, but they can rail it back or commit and whatever. That's their choice. But it will be interesting simply because Square Enix appears to be basically wanting to get rid of anything they own that isn't Japanese again. So, and Life is Strange does not fit into that mold. So we'll see how that goes. Ciaran, what was your
Yeah. I wanted to talk about Magic the Gathering, and sure. Magic the Gathering has over the last couple of years gone through this change where. It's no longer just the Magic of the Gathering universe cards. There are now cards from a whole range of IPs, including Lord of the Rings. We've got Marvel upcoming, Doctor Who, like
Space Marine.
It's now kind of the way. So they've just had Transformers. They've now just had I don't think it's called MagicCon, but they had like a big Magic event in Vegas, and part of that was kind of announcing the future of Magic and kind of talking about what's coming up. It's pretty much now announced that half of all Magic sets ongoing are going to be these new IP, these collaboration events and collaboration sets. With next year now slated to have multiple Spider-Man sets coming out. There's now a SpongeBob SquarePants set of cards coming out. Listening to this and kind of reading through different feedback and different articles about it from the Magic community and different members of the Magic community, I find it really sad that Magic is now turning to a more where it's now kind of lessening the amount of its own kind of IP and its own content in its cards to bring through these collaborations and these IPs. One of the big things that was said initially when the Beyond Universes or like the multiple universes idea of different IPs being brought on was said is that they would never get too wacky, that Wizards would never kind of go out of the... And one of the actual examples at the time of like the wackiness they wouldn't go as far of was actually SpongeBob SquarePants. That, you know, something as cartoony like SpongeBob SquarePants would not be used in Magic because it doesn't quite fit the tone and the vibe of what Magic the Gathering is. We're now 2 years probably post that, SpongeBob SquarePants is coming. All of the Magic cards that I guess Dylan, you and me kind of grew up loving in terms of your, you know, your Jaces, your Aurelias, like all that kind of lore that's built up over the history of Magic the Gathering as cards is slowly being eroded by these collaborations coming in. And they've just released Magic Foundations, which is great. It's another core set to kind of almost reboot what Magic is for the Magic community. I just want to talk about what is it, how do you feel about it first, Dill? But then also, like, as a whole, for all three of us, are we now getting to a point in the world where collaborations and the kind of cross-contamination of different IPs is slowly kind of eroding the uniqueness of different IPs and eroding what different developers and different games have at this point in time?
Yes. But there's no escape is my answer to the...
Yeah.
Them choosing to add, like, double down onto these things is, like, you just read between the lines and it's like, well, they sell really fucking well, so they're going to do more of it. It's like, yeah, I mean, you're a business, right? If something's selling really well, you're going to just do more of it. So, really, the only people to blame are the people buying the product, I guess, at the end of the day. I haven't had any issues with it so far, to be honest. Any new set that comes out of any crossover stuff is usually like, there's still like, I'll start having an issue with it if it starts eating into the amount of the mates, the actual set there. But like everything that comes out, if it's still got a crossover collab in it, it will still be like, say it's a main set, it'll still be like, 280 cards there, whatever else, and here's like 50 or less, whatever. Like sometimes, like when they did the Jurassic Park ones, it was like there was 12 Jurassic Park cards and there was only collector's boosters and stuff like that on top of a 300 card original set. So they were chase items. They didn't seem to eat into the original set. From any sort of like when I've sent off to ask questions for any of the interview articles I put up and whatever else like that, it's very much like the designers of each set are over here, the collaboration stuff's over here. Like it's not like the people making the sets aren't like, man, we better like make sure that like the story we're trying to tell thematically fits to the crossover they want to do. This like it when that starts happening, that's when I would have a problem with it. But currently, it's like I don't have any issues currently. And I'll say this. Like, the only thing is, especially like even when I used to play Magic heavily, I got cards, and there was a local dude who lived in Hobart that would like you could pay him, and I paid him a few times to like paint over cards and like customize these cards to be like full layout versions of like pop culture references or like like whatever, change them to be a change. Like people change Jace to look like the fucking Magic Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh and all sorts of weird shit. So like people have always wanted to do weird shit with their cards, so it's not surprising that when Wizards like put it in their set properly, that people were interested in it. But at the same time, I'm very much like, yeah, we just live in a world where everything has to be like crossovers and
it's even to the point where like stuff like the only time I ever hear about Overwatch discussion now is when a new collab skin comes out. It's the only time I hear about it, and
Me
that
too.
is gross.
Yeah, I don't mind, especially like there's an element to, so like when they put out the Doctor Who ones as well, they were just commander decks.
Yes.
card. So it's like they had an original set, and then it's like the Doctor Who stuff was all Commander stuff. So then you just had people playing Commander with Doctor Who decks, which was cool. But then the actual set's just over here by itself, still existing. So they're usually so far being smart with how they're doing it, I think. Yeah.
Are people using those the collab cards in like competitive?
You can, some of them you can. If they're standard, if the actual card is standard legal or whatever set you want to play it in legal, you can use it because all it's changing is the picture on it.
It's like for Commander and stuff. For Commander and a lot of other formats, the One True Ring is a must. Like the One Ring is a card that's like in every deck, no matter what. Just because of how good it is and how overpowered it is compared to most of the sets.
Everyone's got a fucking One Ring on the table.
Yeah, everybody has one. Yeah.
Okay. The Post Malone whips his out. Fucking
the real one.
The actual One Ring in the world. Yeah. And I mean, like, you could definitely tell it's a balancing act with that they're trying to do. You know, when they put out something like Foundations, which I have a bunch of laid out behind me that I've got to open later. They put something out like that that's like basically a good beginning point, or it's meant to be like this get into Magic sort of set idea. But then at the same time, like, you have people getting into Magic because of some of the collabs, you know? Like, how many? I'm sure we've seen people like off the top of my head, like Betson fucking tweeting out that, you know, he might finally buy Magic cards because of the Marvel stuff. How many people like him? You know what I mean? Like, it's like Wizards is definitely like, if the collabs bringing in new audiences, and if only, you know, like even 5% of those people hang around to buy more that aren't those collabs, they're still getting more people. So, it's hard to argue with what's working, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, have you ever seen any crossover ones where you're like, fuck, I want to get that?
Not really. Like, I don't know. I just think there's nothing. To me, it's always like the cross. I think it's from the limited time, like in the last 6 months where I was playing Magic Arena, all the Lord of the Rings set was like a separate set. It wasn't in standard, and standard was the only thing that I really cared about or wanted to play. You know, the same thing with like Commander. I would play Commander if I had a group of friends to consistently play Commander with. It's just the case of it is at the moment. Like, standard is and has always been the only format that I really cared about. So, yeah, not really.
I wish they had some, because they don't put all of the crossover stuff on Arena, and some of the sets like Lord of the Rings and stuff where you could draft it. I don't think they actually had that on Arena. So
you could draft Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
there's definitely the option because it was in the part of the alchemy.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it was something else, another set. But there was like another set they didn't have on there where I was like, so it's still that thing of some of these crossover sets don't actually end up on the digital.
Yes, yeah.
And like, because they don't have Commander on Arena either. So when they put out those Doctor Who stuff, you can't play that with your friends if you're just a digital Arena player. Yeah. No, I get it, but I will choose not to. I'm not going to live in fear of it going bad until it goes until it goes bad. But we'll see how this next year of Magic goes. If the sets get worse because of their like double downing on it. But yeah, I don't know. I reckon that Marvel shit will go insane. The secret lair releases, which for people don't know, basically they do like a limited number, and they're like $1,500. Like, they're super expensive. Like, these limited edition buy-ins, these like 10 cards, right? You can just get them. They're not part of packs or anything. It's just buying the cards. They sold out in like 5 minutes after they went up. All those Marvel ones. Yeah. So how much of these like, they're doing 2 Marvel, like, and apparently the Spider-Man sets are going to have an actual story written into the cards and the release and stuff like that, and it's not just going to be like, here's cards, but they're going to tell a Spider-Man story or something. Like, I'm like, you're printing money. Like, people are going to buy into that fucking shit. I can guarantee you right now. I don't know. Have you dropped off Pokemon yet, by the way? Since it's a week later?
I haven't. I had a day the other day where I like logged in and it was like, you have 4 packs ready to open because I'd missed a day. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm packing much exciting. I'll play a couple rounds every now and then. It is what it is. Like I'm definitely probably lessening off. I guess there's nothing will ever beat that initial excitement of just the amount of cards you open at the start and the amount of cool EXs you get. And I guess I was very lucky to pack everything you needed for the Starmie deck because apparently that's the hardest deck to build that I've been looking at online. Is like it's apparently very hard to get all the cards for it. So, but yeah, it's all right.
Ash is still going.
Still going. Still doing all doing. I think they've done a good job, like putting out these limited strike events like early.
We've got 3 going now.
Yeah, 3. Like a lot of new games, they'll be like, "Oh, we'll just like people just have the base game for like a couple of weeks, and then we'll start doing this limited time events." Like, no, we need to get in. Hit while the iron's hot. It's interesting hearing some of the rumors that they reckon the next set will be like January. Like they'll try and do like a new set every quarter.
Yeah,
or something
so
like
apparently I was reading something this morning where they're like there will be a mini set or something released in December, and then the next main set January. And apparently they're planning on doing I don't know like 4 main sets a year and like 4 mini ones or something. I don't know what exactly a mini set means. But
yeah.
Because apparently if it's like the genetic apex is like set A, then it would be like called set A1. And then
I do say I kind of wish that I saw this comment brought up today. I kind of wish this initial set had come out without EX Pokemon because I feel like there is a fuck ton of evolutions that are pointless because EXs have just come out too quickly and they are too good not to keep playing them.
Well, yeah, as soon as you dive into the competitive mode stuff, yeah. Like you come up against an event where someone's just like, sometimes I feel bad. They just put normal cards on the table. I'm like, oh, you're about to get smashed.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like you get into it and you're like, okay, if your first card isn't an EX of some form or something that turns into an EX, I'm winning. And then it's like they throw down Mewtwo first. So you're, oh, okay, fair enough. All right. It's actually a game I have to think about. I see.
But I'm still doing I'll just try and like every net, especially if I just go like a couple minutes free if I'm waiting for something. It's very much become my like I'll just whip it out, do one battle, especially while there's events on at the moment. I'm still trying to like I'm like I'll just just do one battle.
I need this last Lapras X drop.
I've got 2 Laprases somehow. After I open, I've seen people struggling to get that Lapras so hard out of that promo pack. After I posted on Twitter a screenshot where I got my first one, I did another one, opened a promo pack, got another one. I'm like, they're not like somehow my luck.
So I definitely got one of them. I've got it once, the Lapras EX.
From the event
from the promos, yeah.
I've still got, I think I need to do like another 10 battles to fully complete that event as well because I've got the advanced rank or whatever.
That's excessive.
Yeah, it's like a lot, but I think that's still got a week. So I reckon I can complete that in a week. And then, because every time you complete it, every time you win one, I'm still getting a promo pack. So I'm like, hey, maybe I get the full set of
promo stuff.
All the promo stuff. I think I'm missing one thing still, to be honest. All right, cool. That will do it for this week's episode of Arcade Coucharuno. Thank you very much for joining. Hope you're enjoying Dragon Age if you're playing it. If you're not, there's a million other games to play at the moment. In fact, some would say there's maybe too much to play, but that's all right. There's not enough time in the world. We'll survive. We shall go on. Until next week, have a great time.